sure. Like one thing I would say too is when I was there, it was during the summer. So there was definitely less students than there would be during the school year. Um, but overall, like I think in terms of daily life, people from abroad countries are more similar than you'd think, I guess. Um, and I think that that's a big thing that you find out too about studying abroad is that people from faraway places that they have a lot more in common with you than you'd think. Very big one. I would say take risks. Like when I first did the program, it was very impulsive of me to do it. Like I found out that I was leaving about like when I officially found out that I was going to go, it was about 3 weeks before I left. And I didn't have a plane ticket. I didn't know where I was living, but I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm going to Costa Rica for 3 months.
So it was pretty
Um,
sudden.
yeah, exactly. So I think take risks and find out what happens. Definitely recommend it. Yeah, like I guess I can speak from experience too. I did a study abroad as a high school student. I went to Europe when I was in grade 12. So yeah, I would 10 out of 10 recommend it for sure. I think it is a little bit different when you go as a university student. Just with the maturity level, there's a lot more independence. Like I remember when I did it as a high school student, you stay in a hotel the whole time, you're around the teachers the whole time. Someone wants to know where you are, sort of thing. And one big difference I would say in doing it as a university student is it's like you're kind of on your own, like the university administrative staff will kind of keep in touch with you. Like I think I called the administrative lady from the study abroad office like once when I was there, maybe twice. But other than that, you are on your own. So I think the independence thing would be the big difference that I would note between high school and university study abroad programs. That is a big that is a big question. You mean in terms of lifestyle, people, or just in general?
All of the above.
I mean, I would say that the similarities are pretty easy to list. Like people are the same. They want the same things. I don't know. You take the bus to work every day. You sit at lunch with your friends. Like all of that is sort of the same. I guess I would point to the geographical differences is probably the biggest things in terms of lifestyle. Like the biodiversity thing, like there's a lot of things to get used to with there. Like bugs is the biggest one. um, like lots of different types of bugs that there's too many that you'll never even recognize all of them. Big bugs, small bugs, colorful bugs, not colorful bugs. They're all there. Also the weather the difference is insane. Like it's like here, if you're a Calgary student, like you'll know that we go from like -30 to +30 within the span of a week. And there it's like if they get anything below 20, like everyone's got their parkas on, sort of thing. But yeah, those are the main things that I would probably point to. Apply for as many as possible. You would be surprised with what you get. Like part of the reason I applied for the scholarship at the beginning was I didn't think I would get it. Like I just kind of saw that there was an opportunity to go to Costa Rica, and I was just like, okay, I would really hate myself if I didn't try and get this. And then I was like, okay, I'm getting an interview. Yeah, but the interview is probably not going to go that well. Oh, well, I guess I got the job now, and and now I'm actually going. And then there was also a second scholarship that I got. There was the UC International, or I think it's called like the U of C General Study Abroad Scholarship. And again, I didn't think I was going to get that one. I just like, okay, I applied for it, whatever, it's extra money. I should apply for it. And then I got it. So I'd say apply for everything. You're a lot more qualified than you think. if you look at mamoncinos, I thought that was a really cool one. They're kind of like, if you've ever tried lychees before, they're kind of like that, but it's more of a different variety of it. Like all the fruits there are insane. Like they have, it's not called an avocado, but it's basically the same. It looks like an avocado and it's the same flavor as an avocado, but they have like avocados there that are the size of footballs. Like, like it's insane the variety of fruits they have there. Knew absolutely nothing. Like I basically hopped on an airplane and was just like, okay, I guess I'm going here, and we'll find out how people live, I guess. Such a really good question. So I didn't have to get a travel or work visa. Basically, again, this will vary depending on the country that you go to, but with Costa Rica, how it worked is that you can stay there for 90 days without getting an official visa. So the scholarship requirement for my program was that I had to be there for a minimum of 90 days. So what I ended up doing was midway through my trip, I flew to Panama. And I stayed there for like 3 days, and then I flew back. And then because of that, I was able to get a second visa and able to stay there for the whole time. But yeah, I didn't have to get a visa at all, which was very helpful. That is a really good one. A very SSC question. Uh, I think a big thing was with the renewable energy that I was very surprised with the amount of energy they get from renewables for electricity. But I think it's also part of the culture there, that the fact that the tourism industry is a really big thing there, and people go to Costa Rica for ecotourism, right? So I think because of that, the culture is very much in support of environmental goals. That they don't want to see their environment change, right? Because they're very reliant on this environment that supports so much life.
It's a great answer. Myles, are there any other questions that you would like us to ask you just to finish wrapping out your presentation?
I'm all good. If you guys are good on the questions, I'm good on the answers. I really appreciate you guys having me, and I appreciate you guys providing me with an audience. And I hope that this was useful for someone out there who's looking at doing a study abroad program, which I would definitely encourage you to do.
Amazing. Well, it was a fantastic presentation, and I feel like we all learned a lot, and it sounds like you had a really great experience. So that's fantastic, and glad to have you back.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.